Locker Room Talk with Chase, Tyler, and Riley. How are we doing today, fellas?
Great. It's been a long week of school. I didn't do my part because I don't want to do it. So.
No, just not doing it today, eh?
It's your boys! It's good. It's been another long week, but I'm glad we're doing this again.
How are you, Riley, man?
Lazy.
Lazy, eh?
Very lazy.
Online schooling sucks. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, what are we talking about this week? What's on the schedule?
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers, last game in Green Bay.
Potentially.
Brady's possibly retiring, maybe?
Brady's possibly done. Big Ben is done.
Yeah.
Let's dive right into it, though. Is that Tom Brady's final football game he plays?
No.
No. As much as I don't like the guy, I'm sorry, I will say that. I think he's still determined at his age, even though he's won it all. He still wants to go win.
What he did this past year.
Yeah, he broke records, did he not? Especially with a 17-game schedule.
With how old he is? Like
44.
Lead the league in passing this
He did.
season?
He's like
At
44
years
yeah.
old?
Yeah, I don't. No one's.
He had like
definitely
40
done that.
over 4,000 yards or something.
Yeah.
So he's coming back. He's got to come back.
Well,
He's coming back.
He said it all depends on his family. So.
And that too. Gronk, we don't know about Gronk. Gronk said if it came to a choice now, he won't. But I'm sure if Brady comes back, Gronk will be.
Yeah.
Gronk will be back.
Yeah.
I wish we saw Julian Edelman back with them.
He's retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's retired, but he's still got the beard, so that means he's still thinking about
still
it.
thinking, still working out. I mean, look at Eric Waddell. He came out of retirement with LA.
Yeah.
And
Weddle's
he's
back. What about Rodgers? Is this his last game?
In Green
Or
Bay.
Yeah. In Green Bay, I think there was speculation that he shot down that he was potentially going to Pittsburgh, but that was shot down.
I had Devontae Adams and him in Denver.
Because Rodgers is up for his deal, is he not? He's a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why he wanted out.
He can opt out, yeah.
he can opt
That
out.
was that 5-year deal he signed a few years back. Right?
Rodgers to Las Vegas.
But what about
New
Derek
York?
Carr? Yeah.
New
Giants?
York?
Where's Daniel Jones go? Dumpster
bench.
fire?
Right
Where's Colt McCoy go?
Colt McCoy's thankfully with Washington right now.
What are they? No,
I've been Colt McCoy for a while.
no. Who
Mike Glennon.
Mike Glennon.
Long neck Glennon.
wasn't Colt McCoy on their team last year?
For a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So he
it.
went from Washington to New York, back to Washington.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What about Antonio Brown?
Brown to the
Throw-
Ravens.
He'll be
throwing those hints out that he wants to play with
He
Lamar.
tweeted out a picture of him in the Ravens shirt.
back to the AFC North.
That would be kind of scary there. Lamar and him.
If he can stay healthy for more of it. Okay, Big Ben, officially done. It's done.
I was
I'm
shocked.
happy it's done.
I was expecting him to make an announcement sooner, but he's going to be a Hall of Fame. People will argue me on this, but he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot.
Well, you got to take into consideration what he's done in his past.
I agree, but we can make the case, and this is obviously a hockey one. Theo Fleury, NHL, right? Like, should he be in the Hall for this stuff he's been involved in?
Same with Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, yeah. Roger Clemens. But, I mean, you look at the things he's done. He's a top 10 career passer. He's, I believe, at least top 20 for touchdowns. The things he's done for Pittsburgh. He's won a couple Super Bowls, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll say it again. I'm not, Tom Brady's obviously the GOAT. But, Pittsburgh and New England faced each other in a few Super Bowls that Brady ended up winning.
Yeah.
So, if Roethlisberger wins those games, different story that we're talking about, right? Didn't happen.
Big Ben should have retired 2 years ago when he did that thing to his elbow.
And he also changed his game. In his early 30s, he changed
stopped
his game.
throwing long passes and started throwing short and running.
Yeah, that's the
Najee
whole
Harris was his biggest
Go-to.
target.
Yeah. Who hadn't dropped a football until that wild card game against KC.
What's our take on the OT rules right now?
Oh, man.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Oof. I mean,
That was bad.
why is a coin toss deciding who moves on in the playoffs, in my opinion?
Give that game credit.
Let's play goddamn rock, paper, scissors.
I agree. Give that game credit, though, to score 22 or 24 points in the last 2 minutes. That's incredible.
Oh, it's impressive by those two. And to think, we're going to see that matchup for at least another 10 years.
Easily.
I watched that final 5 minutes of that game, and the Bills were losing at that point, and then that touchdown, I'm like, oh, it's over.
And you can throw Cincy into there. That'll be good matchups too.
Joey.
Chargers, I would say.
Herbert
is on the way up.
QBs are under 25 years old. Mahomes, Allen, I think Lamar's under 25. Joey B, Herbert.
NFL's in a good place right now.
We've got 15 years of those guys being dominant QBs.
Mm-hmm. And even too, you look at the AFC North now that Ben's gone. Yeah. You got all quarterbacks under the age of 30 again.
And once Trevor Lawrence actually gets a team around him, he could be good too.
The AFC is going to look scary.
Like in Miami, he's got a good future.
Mm-hmm. Except they don't want to play him for some reason.
Well, that's the thing. And same with Fields. Fields is going to be great.
Except they don't play him.
Yeah.
I want to know what the Colts are going to do with Wentz.
Yeah.
And now that obviously Brady's been gone for 2 years now, but now that Brady's not in the AFC, it's obviously not New England's league or AFC anymore.
You got Daddy Mac in there.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. So, now it's looking like Kansas City's turn, but Sunday's going to be, I think, the turning of the tide again. I think. Young tide.
Cincinnati, KC, that's going to be
Yeah. I mean, you look at it, 3 out of the 4 games last weekend ended in a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
A walk-off field goal.
Most of the games this playoffs have ended on walk-off field goals.
With a few blowouts.
Bucks finale there.
Oh.
Clock it! Clock it!
Chills listening to our Stafford go off at the end there. That's something that he's been waiting for his entire career.
Oh, 100%. He hadn't even won a playoff game up until this point, and he has a chance to hypothetically win a Super Bowl in the same stadium he played home games, not tying the record.
Being the second team to do it.
In a row. 2 years in a row.
And I mean, San Francisco, team of destiny at this point?
Yeah,
or
I mean,
the Packers...
Their offense...
I think it's because they didn't play for 2 weeks.
Well,
so
and same with Tennessee, right?
Week, being the number 1 seed, yes, it gives you home field advantage, but it gives you that bye. Is that more hindrance to you than
I think a team needs to play.
I've always vouched that those bye weeks are terrible in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's so many. You look at a team like Tennessee. You got Henry back, but
they didn't even touch him. They didn't touch Henry.
Henry wasn't healthy enough to be there. I mean, Burrow got sacked 9 times in that game.
Set a record for most sacks, and they still won. So that bye week is very. People say, "Oh, it's a bye week." Now, mind you get top seed in the playoffs, so that's always a benefit. But the disadvantage is you don't play, so you get rusty. And I think out of all those teams, I think Kansas City benefited. Was Tampa the number 2 seed in the NFC? I believe they were.
Yeah, because
they hosted LA.
Yeah.
So now LA hosts. Yeah. So Tampa Bay didn't win, but having home field advantage is a huge factor, obviously, especially in a football game.
I want to touch on Evan McPherson of the Bengals.
The rookie
kicker who, right before he goes out to kick that field goal, is talking to their backup QB saying, "We're going to go to the champion or the AFC championship." The ball's on that guy to say that. That takes some pretty big ones to think about that.
Big cojones.
But Chiefs-Bills, that's your Super Bowl matchup right there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That needs to be a 7-game series, if not more. I need to see that matchup every other week, in my opinion.
7 years in a row?
Yeah, moving on to the games this weekend. Both games are happening Sunday. To start off, we got Cincinnati versus Kansas City at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Who do we got?
It's you can't go against Joey B now, but you can also go against. Well, he might be a little rattled off of what his partner did.
Are they the most hated spouse and sibling in all of sports right now?
I think.
Who's that?
The Mahomes.
Jackson Mahomes and his wife.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, she's dousing the fans in, what was it, minus 10 degrees or something like that?
With champagne.
With freezing cold champagne.
And then she comes out and acts like the good person and
says they were just celebrating it all with the fans. It's like...
And now she's selling shirts or something for a fundraiser. Yeah, you're just trying to get people back on your good side.
Let's remember, and I went to Mexico and I watched this game live before I flew home. Since he beat Kansas City, albeit it was at home, but they still beat Kansas City.
That's momentum.
It is. And against a team like Kansas City, I mean, I'll revert back to that Pittsburgh game. Pittsburgh started off strong, kept Kansas City at bay. Once Kansas City gets going, they're hard to stop. So
yeah,
since he's got a chance, I mean, they're obviously here for a reason. They hadn't won a playoff game in 30 years or so.
I've got Cincinnati in this game. It's hard to bet against Mahomes, but it's even harder to go against Joey B right now in my eyes.
Considering
the way that team has looked and the energy they have with each other.
Considering their rebuild is a way ahead of schedule right now.
I'm going with KC.
Experience.
Yeah.
I mean, this is their fourth straight
and
trip to the AFC
it's in
Championship.
Kansas City.
Yeah,
I hate Kansas City so much, but
I think they're the first team ever to host 4 straight championship games.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive to do.
I want to say the Rams did that, or not the Rams, but the
Bills.
No, because it was that Rams Chargers or something like that matchup. Where
I
the Rams lost, they hosted all 4 games.
When the Chargers were still in San Diego.
Maybe it was only AFC. It could just be AFC only.
Okay, moving over to the NFC now. San Francisco and Los Angeles at 4:30.
I got
early game again.
I got Stafford.
What do you got? What are you thinking, Tyler?
That's gonna be a barn burner. I mean, how many wild card teams have actually gone this far in recent memory? Very few. And San Fran was like they needed to win. They needed
the lowest team ranked in this entire thing.
Nope.
Pittsburgh was below them, but
no. Philly was lower than
the Eagles.
I
completely forgot about the Eagles.
If they would have lost and New Orleans won, they would have been knocked out. So they were a hit and miss team. But I think they've got their form back from when they went to the Super Bowl against Kansas City. And I mean, this is honestly a redemption time for Jimmy G and Kyle Shanahan.
It's time to prove why they traded for Jimmy G.
I still got Rams in this one. I think this is Stafford and
McVay's. I think it's Stafford mania at this point. Stafford Super Bowl.
Stafford better win this. If he doesn't win this, I feel so bad for him. He's got next year, I guess. He's only, 32?
33, actually.
33. We looked it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got 5 more years.
Which says something that he's the oldest quarterback still in. At 33 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
and he doesn't even look 33 either.
No.
Jimmy G's early, yeah.
And then the 2 kids, yeah.
Jimmy G, yikes.
Okay, let's look back at our game day bets from last week. Tyler, I think you're buying dinner and I'm buying a keg by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I didn't expect Green Bay to lose that one, but their special teams cost them in that game, big time.
So should we be just Venmoing their special teams at this point for that money, or? Because I'm putting it on them.
On who, San Fran?
No, on the Green Bay special teams. They should be paying for this dinner at this point.
So hit up Aaron Rodgers there and be like, yo, I want a tab. Let's go.
You screwed me over.
You screwed me over.
I know you have millions. Give me $100 so I can pay
for dinner.
Riley, what'd you have? You had the Bills.
I can't remember what mine was.
It's either Bills won or they got thrown through a table, or Bills. I think it was Bills win. You were going through a table.
Which one was it? Division?
No.
So Riley picked Tennessee, which didn't happen. We all picked Green Bay,
which
didn't happen. We all picked LA. That happened. And
you were the lone one.
You're the ghost.
You had to stick with Kansas City. I mean, coming into that week, you knew it was going to happen.
Nobody expected that outcome, though.
No.
The way it went.
I can't remember what my bet was. I was going to be thrown through a foldable table, but I don't remember what the actual bet was.
We're going to have to look back on that one. So what's this week's bets then, fellas?
Rams and Bengals.
Yeah.
Moving on. Well, obviously Rams are the home
So
team.
what are you betting on it?
That both of those happen?
Just one of them. Just one.
Because I've already made a bet with my hockey team that if we win and get fair play points, I'm shaving my head.
We're moving over to that.
316. Stone cold. I got Rams, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's so difficult because they could easily lose that game.
I got one. Cincinnati loses. I'll buy us cigars.
Okay.
I'll have a cigar before the next game.
I'll buy a round for the boys if Rams lose.
Yeah, round for the boys. Tyler?
If San Fran wins, I will go to the college nude.
No.
Let's try that one again.
If San Fran wins, I will buy dinner again because I'm broke. So
double down on dinner.
Double
down on dinner.
Double down on dinner.
So that's if San Fran wins.
If San Fran wins, yes.
Okay. Okay, that's all we have for this week. Where can they find us, fellas?
Insta at the LRT Pod.
And on Twitter at the all caps LRTP.
Yeah, like and subscribe to us on YouTube. See you next time.
Peace!